Hey there, welcome to the channel. If you guys are watching this video right now, chances are that you're here for the simple reason that you've actually lost traffic to your websites. You're not getting inquiries, or you're getting a lot of views but no calls or inquiries to your business. This will have a lot primarily to do with AI mode, AI overviews, AI cards, basically AI. Everybody knows about AI now and how it's come onto Google. But recently, up until the last 2 weeks ago, AI mode has been implemented in Australia. You never used to see AI mode on our traditional search boxes, but now you do. Okay, so if you guys aren't optimizing for AI more than organic, you're going to find yourselves in trouble, because organic search has basically lost 60 to 80% of traffic, and that depends on what industry you're in. The more, it could be from lawyers. I mean, it's all different: lawyers to dentists to plumbers, depending on who the competition is and the trust factors of these websites. It all varies, but anything between 60, the lowest possibly 40 to maybe 80%. All right, visibility loss if you're in the organics and you're not being mentioned in AI overviews. Now, the difference is basically this is your traditional search page. Stick around, because I'm going to give you a couple of little tips at the end, which is possibly going to, not possibly, we will, if you invest the funds into it and actually put the effort into it, you will see good boosts in AI overview exposure. Okay, guys, so just keep your ears listening for a couple of minutes more. Now, this is your traditional page here. All right, and this is a little AI mode tab there. All right, this is AI mode. All right, that's the difference. This is a particular search engine with traditional search results. Okay, so you can put whatever you want here. Who is a good plumber? Just a really broad search, just to give you an indication. All right, there's your AI overview. It answers directly. Okay, it tries to bring the best trusted results, and if people find their answers in these AI overviews here, they don't go down to organics. All right, look at what we got here before you get to the organics. You've got, there's your AI overviews, there's your maps. Okay, there's your people also ask, there's your discussions and forums, there's your Reddit, there's find related products and service, and there's your organic. And then you got, what do we got here? We've got local search, high pages, product review, Airtasker, fix today plumbing. This is the first guy that comes to in the organics. And where is he? At the bottom of page 1. Who cares if in position 1 of the organics? Well, he's not in position 1 of the organics, but he's the first business listing under all these directories. Okay, nobody's going to find this guy. All right, nobody's going to find fix today plumbing sitting at the bottom of page 1. He needs to get his business mentioned here. All right. Now, let's see who's here. Plumbers who are licensed have a good reputation. Some companies have a good reputation. Hello Plumbing, Silverwater Plumbing, Jet Blast Plumbing, Metropolitan Plumbing. And we got the high pages there. And someone else over here in Canberra. Okay. Now, these guys here have optimized. All right. They've done basically what is known as GEO, Generative Engine Optimisation. Okay. They're not focusing just purely on organics. They're focusing on Generative Engine Optimisation. All right, that means building authority and trust signals in the eyes of AI, because that's what AI wants. Does this mean traditional SEO is dead? Traditional SEO is dead, but SEO is not dead. Okay, GEO requires trusted information with authority, which means SEO is more important now for your website and for GEO purposes than it's ever been. Okay, we needed SEO before to get traffic to our websites, all right, to get inquiries from our websites, but we used to funnel traffic to organics before AI came along. Now it's all changed. We still need SEO. SEO now is more important than ever. Okay, not for the purpose of getting clicks and traffic. It just, AI doesn't send it. AI steals it now. But for the purpose of getting our brands mentioned in this in these sections here. Now, you look at this brand here, Fix Today Plumbing. He's not going to get any inquiries. Okay, these guys are more likely to get the inquiries. And something you have to understand about businesses that appear here, people that actually use questions like, who is a good plumber? who's the best plumber for busted pipes after hours on a Sunday. You know, silly requests. AI does whatever it can to answer these, and whoever it finds and trusts the best, that's who gets presented in these references here, okay? And because the users that actually type these keywords into the search bar, they're about 4.4 times more valuable than traditional organic search. If you land these clients, chances are they're already sold. You've already got the business from them if you appear in these AI overviews, because that's where the questions are being answered. This is the difference. Questions are being answered. Okay, people that get their questions answered are more likely to convert. Okay, especially if you're appearing in here. Now, the difference. All right, this is a traditional search engine. All right, and we've seen with good proof here how far down the organics have been pushed from all the noise under here, which is maps. People also ask, discussions, Reddit, blah, 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 and it goes on. People find related products and services. All right, so forget organics. Now, this is a traditional search engine with AI overviews and AI cards. Now we've gone to meet AI mode. All right, AI mode is basically an engine on its own. If people resort to using AI mode, when they click on Google, all right, there's your traditional search page. If people see AI mode sitting here, and you know they will, that's why it's there, so people can see it, and they need more, you know, accurate information, or they don't even know what it is yet because it's only been out in Australia for about 3 weeks now. It's probably this is the third week at the time, as of the time of making this video. If people click on this is where it takes them. AI mode, all right. Now this is basically a search engine on its own. It's a standalone basic. So it's a layer, okay, on top of Google's traditional search, all right. But it's an AI mode only engine. Now what's it do? You ask it who is the best SEO specialist in Sydney for small business. Okay, our brand comes up there. All right, we get the AI cards. We've got 2 AI cards here. We've got our brand mentioned there. The best of visibility. Then you got SEO North Sydney. These are other guys that are actually doing SEO for their, generative engine optimization for their business. So they're being mentioned. They're on the right path. They're doing the right thing for their businesses. We've got our map mention. SEO North Sydney is another brand that's doing some SEO or GEO for their business. Okay, and we get to the bottom, and then some information on how to choose the right SEO specialist for your business. Now, this isn't about SEO. This is about your brand appearing in AI mode. Okay, I'm just using SEO as an example. And there's your map. But check this out, guys. There's nothing underneath that. All right, there's no more links. There's no more blue links. This is just an AI only engine. All right. Now, no more blue links. If you can't see the picture here of what's going on, traditional search, we've added AI overviews. Then we've gone from traditional search and AI overviews to traditional search, AI overviews, and AI mode only. Okay. Anybody can see the picture of what Google's doing here. They're moving forward to an answer-only style engine. This is what we're assuming, all right, but it's pointing in that direction, okay? And I can't stress enough that if everybody watching this video doesn't do something in terms of sharpening your GEO, all right, which means improving on your SEO, all right, so you can build authority and trust, so that you can start appearing in these mentions, like our own brand, for instance, okay? We've got 2 AI cards here, and we've got our own brand being mentioned here. That's because we've taken steps to GEO, all right, for AI overviews and AI mode, which if you're watching this video right now, you need to do the same, all right? Now, this involves a lot of work. If you don't have the necessary page structure already, you're going to have to do some work, okay? Then how much work you do depends on primarily on the size of your site. If you've got a very large site, you've got a lot of pages to update. But having said that, even if you do have a large site, all you really need to do to get off the ground is to basically just focus on your call service pages first. Okay, you definitely need to knock over your home page, your about us, your contact, your services pages. They definitely have to be fixed up. Okay, because you have to instill authority and trust in those pages. I can't go into everything into one video. There's an ebook which is in our description on how to tune for AI mode. All right, let's call it tuning. All right, so everybody has a better understanding. How to tune for AI mode or how to do GEO. It's in our description. Okay, there's 3 of them that are in our descriptions. The AI mode is the one for specifically for AI mode. All right, it's $9, guys. If you can't invest $9 in an ebook so you can learn something for the sake of your business, that just tells me you can't even afford a cup of coffee and a sandwich. Even that's worth more than $9 these days in Sydney. All right, so grab it, just download it, get your hands on it. All right, now moving on, because AI looks for authority and trust, you have a lot of work to do on your websites. Okay, if you've got large sites. If you haven't got if you've got a small site, it only takes a small amount of work in terms of sharpening up the major things, and everything in that book it's there in terms of what you've got to do. All right, in terms of building your authority, your trust, the whole lot. Now, this, as I was saying in the beginning of the video, is where you actually need to pay attention. What's coming up over here? All right, you have for the purposes of building authority outside of your on-site work that you need to take care of. Okay, you have, which is your off-page resources. Okay, in terms of your incoming links. Now, for the purpose of building domain authority, what you need is links from very powerful resources. Okay, and AI looks for this. All right, it comes under brand entities. All right, the more brand entities you have out there, all right, the better you're going to look in the eyes of AI, and the more consistent they are, which is my recommendation, that anytime you do a brand entity, you keep it consistent, all right, across all platforms. Okay, and the content must be structured in a way that it keeps users engaged. All right, especially if it's on YouTube videos. All right, if you're doing YouTube videos, do whatever it takes to keep visitors engaged. But citations and technical audits you must have in order. All right, so it comes down to experience, authority, trust. All these factor in with EAT. Okay, now part of your domain authority and your trust factors has a lot to do with linking to websites and being mentioned on websites that carry these very same core values, because if you can get a link back from these sites, they actually pass it down to your website. All right, now that comes down to press releases. All right, outside of your technical audit, which is your schemas and everything, all right, which is the other facet of machine language, that AI understands machine language. It doesn't necessarily understand what you've written on your page, but what you tell it in terms of coding, it understands it, and you must have it. Okay, so basically you need to get links from high authority sources. All right, this is to start building your authority off page. Okay, so places like Brand Featured, all right, or 7 News Wire. Okay, these two guys here have got access to some of the biggest news networks. All right, you look at their packages for it now. They're not cheap. All right, I'm not going to bullshit in your ears here. You need to invest some money here, guys. Free's good. Free's fine. I've done a lot of free stuff myself, and it's worked up to a certain level. But when it comes to, kicking the ball up the butt, you need to get into action and start investing some money here. If you can't afford any of these figures here, all right, this is not, you're not going to have a good takeoff on your website rankings and your AIs. Okay, you need to actually invest some money into doing this. Okay, so whether you use Brand Feature or 7 Newswire, these guys can get you in the thick of traffic and actually get your brand boosted. Because once you get domain authority, you automatically go up in the rankings, you go up in AI overviews, everything, all right, and trust flow, all right. So if you can get your hands on these packages, and this has a lot to do with international media and Pittsburgh, Boston Herald, and Fox and Digital Journal, all these guys, Yahoo Finance, all these guys carry a lot of clout, all right. 7 Newswire offers the same, all right. Get a press release done in your business, okay. whether you're a plumber, a dentist, write about your industry, all right? Blog about it on your website, all right? Show Google that you know your shit, all right? If you don't do this, you're not going to get into AI overviews, and you're not going to start appearing in the AI mode only engine, all right? It's moving, people. It's moving quickly, all right? In less than, from May 24, I think AI overviews come out to Google search. In just over a year, we've come along this far already, and we've already gone into AI mode now, all right, which is an AI only engine. As we've seen, as you can see yourself here, there's no blue links. Organics are history. Anybody that's not trusted enough to be listed here is not going to be listed, all right? You need to actually build enough authority and trust to get listed here, okay? And these guys will help you. Press releases will do it. Other sources, of course, you can always send emails to other sources. You can also use guest post building services, which can actually get you some really good written guest posts, but they must come from authority sources. PBNs, keep the hell away from them, all right? That's a has-been, all right? We used to use PBNs a while back, all right, for the purposes of building links. It doesn't work anymore. Google doesn't want to see them, all right? Don't use them. Don't get involved with PBNs. Get links from high authority sites, genuine traffic, okay? They carry trust flow, and they carry everything you need. Matthew Woodward is one of them. They can actually help provide you with some good links. And Authority Builders is another one that can actually help provide quality links. Otherwise, if you don't want to be paying for it, send emails, all right, to actually related industries. So if you're a plumber, for instance, you're not going to send links to other plumbers. You're going to send links to, say, plumbing suppliers, all right, plumbing supply companies or people that with business that produce plumbing products. If you're a lawyer, you'll send links to the Bar Association or somebody that doesn't compete with you but isn't related in your industry, or dentist suppliers, dentist manufacturing products, dentist forums, all right, things like that. Get links from high authority sources that are related to your industry, all right? This will help build your authority, your trust. Get a couple of press releases done, all right? Get into some major Yahoo finances, and once you've done that, you should find that your authority and your domain and trust will start to go through the roof. When this happens, you'll go up in the rankings in organics, but you'll also start to see an increase in your AI overviews, all right, and a mention in your AI mode. It's all about authority and trust and brand entities, okay? Keep it consistent with brand entities. When you spread your brand around the web, keep it consistent. Don't call yourself Joe Blows Plumbing, then next week write a press release or do something else where it's called Joe Blows Plumbing in Campbelltown, or Joe Blows Plumbing in Sydney, or Joe Blows Plumbing Services in New South Wales. Don't keep changing it, keep it consistent. This also helps with your NAP, which is your name, address, phone number. But when it comes to brand entities, just who you are, where you are, what you do, who you service, okay? Keep it consistent. Get your press releases done, all right? Now, moving on to schema, all right? This is schema. All right, this is technicalseo.com tool schema markup generator, and this is your validator here. So the two biggest things in helping boost you into AI overviews right now is authority trust. All right, that's under one umbrella, of course. All right, and your schema. This is what tells AI overviews, or AI mode, sorry, and ChatGPT, whatever AI engine is being used, but in Google it'll be Gemini. All right, it'll be Gemini. This is what tells machines what your page is about. You can see the code there, okay? So basically, if you were to say type, who is the best SEO in Campbelltown for small business, you can see the code being written there, all right? And then you just answer it. The best SEO in Campbelltown or Sydney, all right? I'm not going to capitalize everything, I'll give a damn about typos right now, guys. It's just, this is an example. The best SEO in Campbelltown or Sydney is PKSEO, all right? Now, AI mode comes along and reads this script here, all right? Reads it. Now, when it comes to doing these schema markups, You'll never for frequently asked questions. All right. Breadcrumbs good for your services and stuff. Local business organization, and a person. All right, and website videos, recipes. There's others if you use other particular schema markup services or websites, but I like to use this one. But get those done. All right, local business organization, frequently asked questions, how-tos, all right, or even breadcrumbs. Okay, but most importantly, local business and organization, they're very important. Person, if you want to get your own personal name out there into your business. I use all of these depending on the pages that I'm using, or the pages that I'm trying to rank for, what search terms that I'm trying to rank for. Now, this is your validator. Okay, once you've actually taken this code, like so, all right, and put it into the back end of your website, you can use a plugins to do this, guys. All right, there's another video which I've got, but you can use plugins for this sort of HTML entry. All right, just plug it in there. All right, you press save or update, and then you run it. I haven't got any content on this page. This is just a test page, but we'll see how it goes. All right, then you take your validator and run the test. See this? 0 warnings. Okay, it's frequently asked questions page, person, article, HCard. 0 warnings. If something comes back here with a warning, you need to actually go back and redo it again. Okay, this is machine language, guys. This is what AI understands. All right, and this is called schema markup. All right, so basically, get a press release or a couple done for your brand. All right, and make sure your schema is always done. All right. High quality links coming back to your site. That's press releases, related websites, all right, that carry a decent DA. All right. These new sites or brand featured 7 years, they'll hook you up with new sites that carry some serious DA. All right, and your schema markup. Get those 2 out of the way, and you should find that no matter what industry you're in, you should see a boost in AI overviews and mentions in AI mode. That's provided everything else in your website is okay. Okay. You still need to have all your pages and everything set up correctly. All right, I can't go into detail into explaining all this in the video. It's just not possible. Get your hands on the ebook. It's $9, okay, and go through it. It'll give you a list of rundowns of what you need to do. All right, and it'll help get your business into AI overviews. All right. Any questions, guys? Hit me up. It's in my descriptions. All my phone numbers and my emails in the description. And ask away. I'm here to help. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, reach out. Take care now.